There's what economists call, there's what economist, what's an economist? Hi everyone, I'm Chris. This is day 4 of my Mediterranean diet. Before I get into what I ate today, I just want to talk a little bit about what the Mediterranean diet will cost you. Um, I'm only 4 days in, so I don't know everything that it's going to cost you, but I know a few things that it's going to cost you just from my 4 days of experience so far. First, I can tell you that the grocery store bill, when I went and bought all the food for this week, it was high. It's expensive to eat healthy. Um, it'll be a lot cheaper if you just have garbage for food, but it is expensive to eat healthy. Another thing it's going to cost you is time. You're going to have to do more cooking on the Mediterranean diet. I learned that this morning when I tried to cook myself some breakfast. No, sorry, that was yesterday morning. Days are blending together. Yesterday morning, I missed my bus because I had to cook breakfast. Before this Mediterranean diet, I only ever ate cereal and milk in the morning, and it would take me very little time to eat breakfast. And I tried to get up early enough to make myself breakfast yesterday, but it wasn't quite early enough. So when I cooked eggs and vegetables, I ended up not having enough time to catch the bus. Had to drive into work. So it's going to cost you time, not just to cook breakfast, but also to cook dinner. And there's what economists call an opportunity cost. Um, when you're factoring a cost, you don't only factor in the actual costs, you factor in the things that you might have been able to do or buy, or in this case, eat. Today at work, it's a bad season of the year. It's the Christmas season, and it's a bad season of the year to decide that you're going to try and eat healthy. I don't know what I was thinking, but here I am trying to eat healthy, and it's the time of year when we have treats at work almost every day. People are bringing stuff in, and it's all really bad for you. So today, we had a workshop. We brought in some extra people today, and there was food, and there were cinnamon rolls, and I love cinnamon rolls, and these were soft and huge, and they looked amazing. There was also a platter of fresh fruit. That's what I ate. I ate a bunch of berries this morning instead of a cinnamon rolls. So if you decide you're going to do a Mediterranean diet, you have to think about what it's going to cost in money for healthy food, in time to cook it, and also it's going to cost you opportunities to eat things that you enjoy that you aren't going to eat anymore. But I have answers to each of these things and why the Mediterranean diet is worth the costs. Um, First of all, yeah, it's going to cost you a little bit more money. Hopefully, you're going to save money on not eating out. But in the long run, I think you're going to save a lot of money in doctor bills or whatever other complications may arise later in life if you don't live a healthy lifestyle. There is a cost. Um, so paying a little bit more on the front end to eat quality food is going to save you uh, in the long run. And yes, it takes more time to cook food. This is actually intentionally part of the Mediterranean diet. Some of the things that I read pointed out that people along the Mediterranean coast who eat the kinds of foods that this diet is based on typically have a more slow paced life than your average American. Um, and part of the reason for that is time spent cooking, and there's just a slower pace. So when you have to cook your own food, this is going to force you to slow down a little bit. Um, and maybe that's not a bad thing. Perhaps this is going to help you to be more, to be less stressed, or I don't know what else. But it's just kind of part of a lifestyle that is a good thing. Um, Finally, on the opportunity cost, yeah, if you go for eating healthy foods, you're going to have to pass up opportunities to eat unhealthy foods. It's happened to me every day so far on the diet, and I'm sure it will keep happening, especially this time of year. But those cinnamon rolls I passed on this morning also have a cost. So yeah, I missed out on an opportunity to eat something that I really like, but I don't even know how many calories were in one of those cinnamon rolls, and I would have eaten that whole thing, and that would have not been good for me. So you pay the cost on the end of that anyway. Um, you in the end you have to decide if it's worth it to you to sacrifice a little bit in order to gain something later. And hopefully by the end of this video series, I will have seen some benefits from eating like this, and um, all these costs are not going to matter to me. And they really don't matter to me too much right now. I mean, obviously I have to be careful about the kind of money I'm spending, but I don't mind right now taking more time to cook, and I don't mind passing up on things. And the more I go, I think the less I'm going to mind passing up on things like that. So for today, I started out. Breakfast this morning was yogurt and blueberries and nuts. You can pick any kind of fruit. Um, I'll talk in the next video maybe about some ways to save money on food. One would be don't eat exactly what I'm eating, or what if you find a sample menu online of the Mediterranean diet, don't eat everything exactly that's on there. You can substitute some things. I'm eating blueberries because they were on sale at the grocery store. So find some fruit that's inexpensive and add that to your yogurt, whatever. So I ate yogurt and fruit and nuts. Eat whatever kind of nuts you want in there. I ate pecans, little tiny pieces of pecans, and it was actually really tasty. For lunch, I had a vegetable sandwich on wheat bread. I also had a slice of provolone on there. And then for dinner tonight, we made a Mediterranean pizza. I will leave a link to the recipe in the description of this video. One thing that I failed to do is the recipe you'll see calls for whole wheat pizza crust. I couldn't find that at our store. I could have made a whole wheat pizza crust, but that's even a little much for me time-wise. I don't want to spend the kind of time to do that. So I found some pizza crusts that we used tonight for our pizzas. We made two. One of them was the Mediterranean pizza, and the other one we made a pretty standard pizza. I figured my kids might not want the adventure of the Mediterranean pizza. It's pretty wild. There's goat cheese on there. There's no pizza sauce. There's artichoke hearts and some Kalamata olives, and it's a little bit different than maybe the pizza you're used to, but it was pretty good. The goat cheese was a little strong, I will warn you, but there were a lot of vegetables on there. We added some even to what the recipe called for. We added some onions, and we had tomato slices on there, and we had something else that I can't remember right now. Red pepper, red bell pepper. So it was pretty tasty. I'll leave that link in the description. And for dessert, I had an apple. And that's day 4 of the Mediterranean diet. I'll check back in again tomorrow.